Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today we're going to do my GAC. So let's jump into it. Full disclosure, I recorded this on my phone. I just haven't had much time to sit down and play it live. I decided that this is what I've been doing. The first day I wasn't able to, so I'll show the results for my last two Grand Arenas of what happened at the very end. But I am going to play this at 1.5 speeds, and I'll run through pretty much what my plan is. So for Wampa, I have been using Wampa to counter StarKiller. Pretty easy. The most dangerous part is that beginning, as you can see. So you need a lot of health, but after you get tenacity down, you use your first special and you target down Palpatine as fast as you can, because that's where all the assists for StarKiller is coming from. So I could have roared there, but I decided to go for Palpatine one more time. And as you can see, StarKiller is getting a ton of dots and then dies to a counter. And then after StarKiller is dead, pretty much you win. The only lose condition is if somehow StarKiller can kill your Wampa in the beginning, or he gets his ultimate. So I decided to do a Night Sisters versus Jabba. I've been having a lot of luck with this in 3v3 lately. I think I may have messed up with my Datacron. I don't know if I put one that heals, but as you can see, every time or they're healing their health, which isn't normal. Usually they heal their protection. So I'm not sure what I did and why that happened. I'll have to look and see what Datacron I use to make sure I don't do that again. But essentially, I'm trying to kill the ads as fast as possible. And I am hoping that Mother Talzin here dies. Asajj dies super quick, so that's not really a problem. The problem is getting Mother Talzin to die, because I need Mother Talzin and Asajj here to die for me to be able to kill Jabba. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. I try to bring back Asajj one more time later on to see if I can give Jabba enough turns that he can put some more dots out, and it ends up not working, and I have to time this out. So I am going to jump a little forward, just because I don't want to sit here and watch these guys fail a bunch of times, because, you know, spoiler alert, it just doesn't work. All right, so next I decide to use Imperial Troopers, because I did kill all the sides. So I'm going to use Piet, Veers, and Dark Trooper. So I'm not too worried about them dying. It's going to take a while for him to get enough dots or enough thermals for them to really threaten my Imperial Troopers. So no one's going to die here as far as the enemy either. So I'm not going to run. The only turn meter train I'm going to run is pretty much off buffs and Imperial Trap as best as I can. So I decided here to try to get advantage, see if that'll help with me dealing a little more damage. And it helped a little, but not enough for it to really be a big deal. So I'm hoping here that I'm able to just like punch through. I'm getting tons of assists with Dark Trooper, so that gets me pretty much the kill. So very cheap counter there with Night Sisters and Imperial Troopers, even though I had gear 12 Veers. All right, so for this one, I'm gonna use JML against Lord Vader. Last time I did this, I was able to win with just JML surviving. So I was hoping to make this a little more cleaner. This time they have Ninth Sister instead of Darth Vader, which believe it or not, like Ninth Sister just is not a very good tank here. So I do try to jack up Lord Vader's cooldowns there, so he only does that basic, which is good. I kill Night Sister, and then Maul is almost dead, and unfortunately Lord Vader was able to get his ultimate with Maul out there, so we got a little more mastery than I was hoping for. And as you can see, my guys are almost dying, which is a little concerning for me, especially for Shock. But at this point, I'm pretty confident that he's gonna go down. You can see he's already dipping into the yellow. I'm expecting to lose Shock T here, but luckily she's hanging in there just by a thread with those dots. But I'm able to kind of like chunk out Lord Vader pretty well. And this is what I was saying with the R9. R9 JML really makes a huge difference for these counters. Next we have Quadme. So a Quadme with the 2 Omicrons is a menace to pretty much beat on defense, and there's very few things that can deal with it. Pretty much like a JMK or a Bane. So I've been saving my Bane to deal with the Quadmes. So pretty much you wait till your secondary guy to die, and then you wait till they also have a ton of buffs out, and then that first special does enough damage to pretty much sometimes kill the whole team. This time only Pad1 Obi-Wan died, which was fine. That's all I really need, because now they don't have the damage to kill Bane without Pad1 Obi-Wan, because he's really the damage on the team. So now once Quadme dies, it pretty much like solidifies the win. I didn't think I was going to lose once Pad1 Obi-Wan died anyways, but now it's just a matter of ramping enough damage to pretty much kill Master Quigon. But I'm lowering his health, I'm lowering his offense, there's nothing he can do. Next we have Trench. I decided to use my Gear 12 Traya Nihilus and Savage against this. So sometimes Trench can surprise you with his damage. I do decide to go straight onto Trench, even though he has good survivability, but I isolate him. That stops a lot of his kit, and now I'm just going to kind of like start chunking him out. I did remove Extortion on Traya just because I don't want them to generate a whole bunch of turn meter, and I don't mind giving them just a little bit of crit damage. Savage is able to kill Trench, and then I'm able to kill Django there, and now it's just new, and that's pretty much a done deal. I have this in the bag, so I could have put it on auto at this point, but I just like play it manually because I have tons of time and I'm not too worried. So, and it looks like it's going to be a full banner clear here. So hey, Gear 12 Traya still holding out strong in Kyber. Next, we're going to go StarKiller versus Rey, and this is a Rey with Baby Cow. So I did make a slight mistake there. If I would have done it again, usually I go first special with Mara Jade. It didn't really matter because, like, as you can see, it's still working out just fine. So she gets a whirlwind off on Palpatine, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Ben into healing immunity either. So now I just generated a whole other whirlwind for her. So she kills Emperor Palpatine, which is fine. My only worry here is like, am I gonna survive the ult with 2 people? I decide to not use my ultimate here, even just because they have like a sliver of protection loss, and they're able to survive. So I'm able to pull it out, pretty much heal, kill Ben, and then kill the rest, which ended up working out just fine. So pretty happy with that outcome. Even though I lost 3 banners, it's not a big deal. All right, so this is Third Sister with the good Grand Inquisitor Cron. So this is a reliable counter. It's a little dicey at first, as you can see. It looks like it's not going to work. I can't fear them, so I didn't use the fear special on Revan. But pretty much once I take out Grand Inquisitor, which my plan was to it pretty much went exactly to plan. Use Malik to remove Taunt, and then go straight into Grand Inquisitor, and that was what I was able to do and had no issue. So now I'm going to kill 7th Sister, and once 7th Sister is dead, I just throw it on auto to kill Reva as fast as possible, because the next lose condition here after I kill Reva is or after I kill 7th Sister is just timeout. So as you can see, I just throw it on auto, and pretty much I just have to cycle through my big hits with Malgus. And he does have a decent datacron here where he has 70, I think it's like 70 some % extra health. So he's able to pretty much kill Third Sister every single time he uses his big dunking. So at this point, I'm probably going to lose some banners and there's nothing I can do because she's putting healing immunity out there. She's targeting my guys. Luckily they're all surviving. I really don't need them all to survive, to be completely honest. Malgus could probably do this at this point solo. The rest are just there to, like, I don't know, give her, just do a little bit of damage, I guess. But as you can see, Malgus was the key there. All right, next, we're going to use Jabba against Malgus. I do have my Cal Kestis, but with Cal Kestis, last time I used him, they they had a tank revive Kron, and this one has a tank revive Kron. So I killed Malgus with the insta kill with Cal Kestis. He came back, and even with Malgus, Jedi Knight Revan, it wasn't enough to lower, like I couldn't get enough turns on Mace to lower his health enough to kill him a second time. So I don't know how much time I would need to pretty much like get him completely dead, but I didn't want to risk it another timeout where I would have to bring in like bounty hunters or something, when I have the flexibility right now to just use Jabba. So I am going to use Jabba to kill Malgus here, and easy win, no worries, full max banners. I didn't have to really think too much about it. All right, so DTMG, they do have, they didn't have the good Moff Gideon Kron. So for this, I'm just going to use my Rogue One with the good level 6 for Rogue One. So this is a very reliable counter. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon still takes health % damage, so every time he's hitting us, he's getting exposes. We can pop those exposes and chunk out his health really well. So now I'm going to use the AoE, and I'm just going to use the big hit right there after I got the no revive for the Rebel Hope buff up, and then kill them. So pretty easy counter. So for this one, I decided to use Quadme on Gungans because I already used my Traya on Trench earlier. So I didn't really think about that when I used them for Trench, but I figured that Quadme is going to be able to take out Gungans. For one, once I take out the generator, I can start hitting under protection, and then they just die. So that's pretty much how it's going to go. And after the shield generator goes, they all just die to Padawan Obi-Wan. At this point, it's I'm seeing the back wall. I've seen that it's not that much, so I was able to use Rey as a counter to this, so I just don't have to worry about it because I turn off his Omicron. I'm able to just whirlwind Anakin out of here, so now there's no real threat. The biggest thing is like, are they going to take a banner or not, and I ended up getting full banners anyways. So for this one, I felt like it was a little risky because they have like over 110% defense for a Dash Han Chewie, and Dash Han Chewie against CLS, it's all about like getting in there and quickly killing someone. So, and hoping we survive. So I did go straight for Chupio because he doesn't have any survivability, can't heal pretty much. And my hope is to just keep CLS stunned, which ends up working, and I lose a banner, which is not bad. All right, so now I'm going to use Reva. Reva against Fin Zorii. And I wasn't too worried about this because of the death mark mechanics and everything, but they did better than I thought they would, to be completely honest. Like I kept killing them a little bit, and then they would like heal up. So she still healed there, even though she had healing immunity somehow, which is a little weird, but you know, I ended up getting it. So probably a bug or something. I don't know what's going on with that. All right, so at this point, I'm just like an overkill party. Like this was the strongest team out there as far as what was left. So I had SLKR, and they're actually doing a lot better than I thought they would. As you can see, they're almost killing my first order officer, which is a little surprise to me. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna come in here, kill them really quickly, and they actually started like taking turns and doing some decent damage. So I was not expecting that. So luckily, first order officer does seem like he's going to survive here, and at this point it's just a win. So a lot dicier than I thought it would be. All right, next we have Tusken. So they didn't have Tusken Warrior, and I decided to use this. I thought this was probably the best thing I had. I was thinking maybe bounty hunters, but I ended up just using Jedi for this. And I'm just going to, I planned on targeting just the chieftain, and then I'm going to kill Aurora as fast as I can. And then once Aurora is dead, then I have to AoE to kill the summon and the raider at the same time. So there's two ways I can do that. I have Jedi Knight Revan, his ability, and then I have the AoE there. So probably the biggest hitting thing I have is Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. So I figured like, okay, I'll just I just have to get them both weak enough that I can kill them in an AoE. So I start working on the raider, and as you can see there, I didn't AoE or do enough damage. So I did a big AoE here and got it the easy win. So pretty easy as far as that one. Next we have fleets. So this is the Negotiator with a built up Marauder, because he does have Lord Vader. So I figure this is probably the best counter for this. I go with the TIE Interceptor first, not TIE Defender. You mark down Anakin, and then easy kill from there. And once Anakin is dead, then we're in a much better place. And it's not as much of a worry because Anakin is the big threat here. I am hoping to have my Scythe survive. So I'm going to heal up here. I'm actually in a really good position at this point, and they come in with the Clone Sergeant as a reinforcement, which is a really strong, really good reinforcement for me. Unfortunately, they do AoE and kill down my Scythe, which I don't really need him at this point, but I've just for banner purposes and just like he's still a really good character. I would have loved to have kept him here, but it's totally fine. Like the AoE almost kill my defender. I can't get to the Marauder here because of that taunt, but I still have to heal up my dudes because my TIE Defender was like an inch of her life from surviving. So really annoying with that Umbara Starfighter. But at this point, I'm just going to try to keep everyone as healthy as possible. And I'm planning on either looping back to my ult to kill the Marauder, or just kind of keep beating them down, and maybe I could just like brute force them. I am killing all the other ships that come out first, just because they're a lot less survivable. And as you can see, I'm like one turn away from that ult. I'm just going to give everyone some protection up, and I'm gonna hopefully get to my ult here soon, and then just be able to get some banners back by full healing another ship. So yeah, pretty clean, not bad. I did lose one ship, but not the worst thing in the world. Now we're going to do the Profundity versus the Leviathan. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to give the turn to Outrider, and from there you're going to give everyone tenacity up, and that's going to allow you to attack the bomber without getting any debuffs out there. And as you can see, I'm trying to work around crit damage immunity, because crits are how we get a lot of these these bonuses here. So I am working a little bit on the dagger because I'm able to, which is actually pretty well. I'm gonna be able to dispel all their buffs and then kill the TIE dagger, which is a huge win for me. If I had to, maybe I could have, if I didn't use my Chimaera already, I could have probably come back and cleaned it up without that dagger there if I needed to in the future. But so far, this is going pretty well. I'm going to use tenacity up here again, and now I'm in a really good position. I'm just hoping to, this is one thing that was really annoying. Everyone has days, so I can't really give anyone a turn or anything, or any turn meters, or have anyone assist. So this is kind of like a wasted turn here. It is 10 download, and I'm at 95, so that's pretty good. I'm going to use that ability there. They are gonna give me, they come in with a reinforcement. Luckily they kill that guy and not my Outrider or my Millennium's Falcon. So at this point, as you can see, I'm gonna take a turn first before their Leviathan, and I'm gonna get my ult off. So pretty much I have 3 characters here, and I'm going to survive. 2 minutes left. There's no timeout threat with the Mark 6 because this team takes so many turns and does so much damage that it's pretty much in the bag at this point. So I'm really happy I was able to use the Profundity to counter this Leviathan because that's like a huge problem with the new changes. Like the Leviathan counter now is like very, very difficult to get around, and pretty much the Profundity is the best thing I found to at least like somewhat reliably beat it. Next I'm going to use First Order on this Executor, and this is the last ship. If you saw, I beat the last 2, and now I just have the punishing one with Executor. So I'm gonna put 100 on him. I'm a basic. They're gonna go all in. Luckily he survives. I'm gonna push turn meter, do an assist right there, get a basic. He's almost dead, and if I can get a big hit here with my so push turn meter again, and then he dodged. Can you believe that? That dodge right there, I think, is a huge deal for me, because at this point I have to kill the punishing one, so I have to basic there, and then the Houndstooth puts his taunt out, and at this point I'm stuck behind the Houndstooth. I haven't had enough time to cook with my TIE silencer, and I'm really not going to be able to do much after this. So this is a reliable, somewhat reliable counter to take out that punishing one. And the big thing I did here too was I didn't track cooldowns, so I wasn't sure what was going on, and I didn't want to I didn't want to have them take any more turns. Unfortunately here, I didn't record anymore. So so after that, I was not able to get through the Executor. I tried Malevolence, I tried a bunch of other stuff. Because of the cooldowns, I didn't track it. They were able to pretty much put taunt out on Houndstooth right away. I got stuck behind the Houndstooth, and I wasn't able to clear their Executor with my Malevolence. So in the future, I probably should track that a little better. But as far as the final result, I did win, because I was so much cleaner than he was. Even before I did fleets, I had enough points, believe it or not, to win, because I didn't drop that many battles. So no battles dropped on this top front wall. I think I dropped 1 battle on the ground, maybe. Yeah, so I did drop one on Jabba, and I think that was it on the ground. Yeah, that was it. So 1 drop battle. So for him, he dropped 3 battles on my JMK, so it took him 4 battles to get through that. It took him 2 to get through my Leia. On the back wall, I think he dropped 2 battles, 1 on my General Grievous and 1 on my Iden, surprisingly enough. And then nothing on the top, so we full cleared that. So he was very, very messy on the ground. And then he could not get through my Leviathan, and he didn't even try against my Executor. So he one-shot my Raddus as well. So overall, my ground defense of putting a stronger ground defense is actually working out pretty well. I usually can clear fleets, but I just couldn't get this Executor down. And I was unfortunate with, because that 1 dodge, believe it or not, was a huge deal, because I would have been able to ability block Houndstooth. He would have basicked, and then I would have been able to kill the Xanadu Blood there, and then continue to work through the ships. And it would have been a lot different if I would have been able to kill those, and then I would have been able to, maybe even if it was just the Houndstooth or something, I could have probably used like Negotiator or something to come in and clean this up if I absolutely had to. But unfortunately, like by the time I came back with my Malevolence, like the cooldowns were still in favorable of the Executor. So maybe I could have Maybe I should have just come in with a burner fleet, seen where their cooldowns are, and decided if I wanted to keep it or not, and that probably would have been a lot better. But unlucky dodge, my fault for not checking the cooldowns, and then that's a lesson for next time, so I can try to like full clear this, is I should have checked the cooldowns. But worked out pretty well. And then my first round, I did not stream this or record it whatsoever. I did end up winning. I did a full clear to their not full clear. Same thing, like the Leviathan is a menace right now, and people have just not been able to get through it. So if you're having trouble, Profundity is a very good option. I still don't believe in taking it on offense. I believe leaving the Executor with Punishing One and the Leviathan on defense is probably the best, so that your opponent has to figure it out. I did get holds on the bottom here, as far as like same thing, 4 to clear my JMK, 2 to clear Leia, and then on the back I got no holds. So what Leia and JMK are doing is they're giving me some flexibility if it comes down to efficiency. So if I don't clear their Leviathan, which I was able to, this one actually I beat it. I got alt off on the Leviathan, so I killed the Leviathan, and that's why it has no reinforcements here, because the Leviathan died and there was just these 3 ships left, and I just came in with the Malevolence and killed them really, really easy. And that's how I ended up beating this fleet, because like even though I lost with my Profundity, I still got the ultimate off because I had like 1 ship left, and they killed that 1 ship because they still had like 4 or 5. I just won the alt race. This one was really easy. I negotiated, and then same thing, used the Chimaera. So on the ground, I dropped 1 on Leia because I went Inquisitors and then into Inquisitors. So I was much more messy on the ground. So took the Ezreal. Oh man. So he had a Quigon with Ezreal here, and Ezreal is a very strong character, surprisingly so. Luckily Wampa was able to kill him solo, like one-on-one Wampa still won. I took 2 shots on the Malgus, like I said last time, because of the tank revive cron. Very surprise defenses there. And then on the back I was like really clean. So overall, I did win my 2 rounds, and then I'll go into the championship round against this guy. And then we'll see how it is. This guy has everything. He seems to know what he's doing, so I'm probably expecting to lose this 3rd round. But overall, pretty happy with these rounds of Grand Arena. So yeah, thanks. If you guys learn anything, let me know. This is a whole new meta and new characters and everything, so I'm still learning, just like you guys, how to deal with ships, how to deal with these new characters, how to deal with these datacrons, since that we have new sets as well. So yeah, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how the last 2 Grand Arenas have gone. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.